Hi, my name is Tiffy. I am recapping X-Men comics. We are following the Fall of X storyline, so if you love the X-Men but you don't have time to read all the comic books, I'm your girl. We are continuing with X-Men 2021, number 26, which was released on September 6, 2023. It's been a minute. We're catching up. We've been teased with this image before. We know that this is Emma Frost and on the other side is Tony Stark. Why are they getting married? We're finally gonna get some answers. And I know that I already made a video just about this dress, but one more time, just because waist snatch, titties pushed to the gods. And you might not ever catch her in a team uniform, but Emma Frost gonna rep that X to the day she dies. This issue starts with a quick little flashback to the Hellfire Gala. We're looking at Kingpin. He's there with his wife, Typhoid Mary. Orcus attacks, they're separated, and then ultimately we know that he's the only human to survive that night. Then after all that, we see him down in the Morlock tunnels with Emma. Now, Emma is not a hangout in the sewers type of girl, but we saw in Invincible Iron Man number 8 that her and Tony got in kind of a scuffle with Fei Long's Stark Sentinels. That was a lot. And she's down here hiding out for a little bit after the gala. And Kingpin basically tells her, Orcus is gonna come after your assets next, and you're gonna need money if you wanna get revenge, if you wanna start a war. So Emma signs everything over to Fisk, makes him the White King of the Hellfire Club, and now they're in this very tense business relationship. And I know, like, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, but we don't like this for her. Like, why are you standing so close? Back up. In the present day, Kingpin is running the Hellfire Club as the White King. Tony is having his own adventures, kind of living life. He is the Black King. Most people think that Emma is dead or whatever, but really she's hiding in plain sight as Hazel Kendall, who is like Tony Stark's assistant type person. So at a Hellfire function, Hazel Emma takes Tony to the side and she's like, look, I know that you're plotting something against Orcus and you have someone on the inside. If that person is Firestar, you tell her that she is being targeted by a rogue mutant assassin who she has no hopes of surviving. We know that she's talking about Kitty Pryde, but go ahead and put a pin in that for now. We're gonna circle around to that in a little bit. Meanwhile, we see Kamala Khan, who is also trying to balance her double life. Remember, because she's an Inhuman and a mutant now, which is how she was able to be resurrected, and she has to keep this from her parents at the same time. And y'all, I really had to sit with this part because we're witnessing a hate crime take place, but the fucked up part is the person being attacked wasn't even a mutant. They have alopecia. Because of Orcus and because of all the hate propaganda against mutants, anybody that's different is a target, and they don't even feel safe enough to go to authorities. I had to sit with that for a second. But back to the fun shit. So remember, everyone thinks that Firestar is a traitor, and Kitty Pryde, aka Shadowcat, has vowed to kill her. So now Kitty's breaking into the Orcus space station, and she is everybody. I had to stare at this panel for so long because how did she kill him? Are those entrails? And then she walks around with just some bloody footprints. These are red bottoms. These is bloody shoes. Firestar hears her coming. She's trying to reason with her through the other side of the door, but Kitty's not on the other side of the door. She's behind her in space like a psychopath. Kitty phases in through the window from outside, kicks her upside the head. What? And Firestar is trying to explain, and Kitty punches her in the jaw. Crack! Do you think they have a book of like all the onomatopoeias that they have to use in comic books, like a book of sound effects? Crack! And then she phases her sword through Firestar's head. Bitch, you better start talking now. And she does. She starts laying out everything. Jean's last moments. Jean implanting the memories in Stasis' head so everyone thinks that Firestar is a traitor when she's really not. And she's like, I was voluntold to do this. I didn't ask for none of this. I'm mutant and I'm proud. I'm with y'all. Kitty does not care. She punches her again. What? Firestar is screaming that Jean made all of this up at the moment of her death, and we know that it's true. We were there. We saw it. But will Kitty believe her? She does. She says it's the most Jean story she's heard in all of her lives, and that tracks. So now they're basically cool again. Kitty doesn't really trust her, but that's okay because Kitty doesn't trust anybody right now, so it's nothing personal. And Kitty does show her that she's the only person that can phase through the Krakoa gates. She basically tells her, don't fuck it up, because I can click at any time. You click. Firestar does say, like, hey, can you tell the others that I'm cool so that they don't try to come kill me? And Kitty's like, no, I cannot. I cannot do that, actually. We're gonna keep up appearances is what we're gonna do. So consider a little surprise tussle here and there from someone on the squad as your danger room trials. I don't know if I could survive being an X-Man, because that's... Later that night, back on Earth, we see Kitty and Emma Hazel having a secret meeting. And Kitty's like, I didn't kill Firestar. And Emma's like, that's cool. Where's Scott? I am ready and willing to dedicate myself to this revenge plot with you, but I need to make sure that he's good first, and then fuck it, we ball. She steps back into the Hellfire Club, and the first person she sees is Fei Long, who just happens to be at the top of her revenge list. And she's like, bet, we can do this right now. She starts taking off her disguise ring, but then Tony snatches her up and starts to pull her out the room, talking about, hear me out. You in the way, Anthony. Emma's like, no, because what I won't do is pretend or hide for this guy. Tony's like, Like, woman, I am trying to build something and he has information in his head that I need. If you wipe that information clean, I can't do nothing. Then Emma says, I don't give a fuck, essentially. And she knees him in the nuts. Tony's down on his knees, and then that's when Fei Long walks in. And it would appear that that's how we got to the Emma and Tony wedding situation. But we won't know how this plays out until Invincible Iron Man number 10. I don't like how they're forcing me to read The Adventures of Anthonius, but I'll keep you updated. And also something's going on with Kitty outside, but I don't know what that is.